Well, in actual fact, we've got the Dundee United manager, Jim Goodwin. Here he is.
Hi, Jim. Well done.
Well done.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We were just talking there about the opportunities that Ross Graham brings you. He had the opportunity just a couple of minutes before. Second one, he managed to take it. You must have been delighted with the fact that today you're talking about the players doing exactly what you wanted them to do, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, look, we didn't do ourselves justice the last time you guys were watching us a couple of weeks ago. We made some real basic errors which led to us being punished on a few occasions by Dundee. The last couple of weeks we've spoken about getting back to basics. We knew the clean sheet was going to be important. We always believe that we'll get chances, with the quality that we've got in the group and big Sam Dalby up top. But today the goal comes from a set play, a really well worked corner. Into that back area. We had one about 5 minutes before.
Yeah.
And I would have been having words with Ross Graham had
I think you knew that.
Had the scoreline stayed at 0-0, but we worked it again not long after. Fantastic delivery from Strain and a really good header, and I thought we were good value for it. It wasn't a brilliant game. We know that the difficult pitch makes life hard for both teams in terms of getting the ball down, but I said to the players before the game, if it's an ugly 1-0 win, 3 points on the board, I think we'll all take it.
That's what I was going to say to you, Jim. It's not necessarily about the performances at this moment in time. It's all about winning 3 points, getting as high up as possible.
Yeah, absolutely, Alan. And I mean, I think a little bit of tension and nerves have kind of creeped in over the last maybe 5 or 6 weeks for the group. Relatively young group as well. Guys that haven't been in this position before too often, and little decisions sometimes going against you, and all of that thing can play on the mind. But today it was just about trying to keep everybody nice and calm. We know the threat that Ross County bring. They're a good side. Their home record is excellent. We knew it was going to be a difficult game up here, but we always believed if we kept a clean sheet we'd get a chance, and thankfully that's the way it played out for us.
You spoke about it being a young group, and like you said, over the last 6 or 7 weeks, the pressure's maybe got to them, with everyone speaking about the top six, etc. From a manager's point of view, how have you managed to keep them focused and obviously getting them over the line today? How much of a relief is it from the players' point of view as well, being in there after?
Well, look, I mean, we've been in this position numerous times in the last couple of months where it's been in our hands given the results the previous day, and we haven't been able to capitalise on it. Today I'm glad that we have, with the results the way they went yesterday. But expectations grow, Marvin, as the season goes on. We were probably in a bit of a, I wouldn't say false position, but we were definitely way ahead of expectations in terms of a newly promoted team. We've not been out of the top six all season. At the beginning of the season, everybody's talking about survival, avoid the playoff. Because you're in the top six, then the expectations of the fans and the board all of a sudden become, well, can we get that top six? And I know now, once we secure that, they'll all start talking about Europe and getting passports out. So,
That's just you.
I know, absolutely. But look, I'm really, pleased for the players, because we have come in for a bit of criticism of late, and it's deserved when you don't pick up results. You put yourself in the firing line. But they're a great group. Attitude daily. At weekends, there's never a performance or a game that we lose because of lack of effort. Sometimes a lack of quality, which you can sometimes accept. But today it was all about the resilience and determination and just getting all 3 points. And I'm delighted to be standing here, having achieved that.
You know these players better than most people. A lot of them have been with you since the Championship coming through. Are you even surprised with how successful they've been? And I know we're not numerically there in terms of top six, but getting to this stage, are you even thinking, it's a surprise to you that you've got this far so quickly?
Well, at the beginning of the season, obviously, I'm trying to play things down a little bit publicly, but, behind closed doors, we had our own ambitions. We set a target for ourselves at the beginning of the season of 45 points. We believed that would be enough to get top six, and it looks like that is probably going to be the number. We're not mathematically there yet. Things need to happen over the next couple of weeks for things to change with regards to how the league table looks. But I did believe with the group and the recruitment that we've done in the summer, I believe there was enough there to go and maybe nick that sixth spot. Celtic, Rangers tend to be the top two. Hibs, Aberdeen and Hearts, the bigger budgets and the finances, and I believe that sixth place was up for grabs with probably 3 or 4 teams fighting for it. The start was so good that then I think that brings a little bit of confidence and belief to the group, and look, we've not achieved it yet. Stranger things have happened in this game, and I'm certainly not going to stand here and we're not going to be celebrating going down the road. We know what we have to do in the next 2 games, but we put ourselves in a great position.
So we'll see you next weekend to talk about Europe, yeah?
I hope
You hope so.
No doubt. Okay, Jim, thank you very much.
Thanks,
Congratulations
guys.
today. Well
Thanks
done.
very much. Okay.
The Dundee United, cheers for that, Jim. The Dundee
Take care,
United
mate.
manager, Jim Goodwin there.